famous White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad, constructed 125.
What?
Ensure the welfare of the horses used to help build our railway, ultimately bringing an end to the brutal conditions of the White Pass Trail.
A day, and that can be up to 20,000 people in our town every day. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
And we only have 1,000 all in one building. Yeah. Yep, just one school. We have about 15 teachers and about 10 support staff and administration as well. So, yeah, good question. And then my favorite place to get a treat in town is down here to the left. We have Klondike Doughboy. It's cinnamon sugar fry bread, and it is so good. Especially on a colder day like today. It's nice to have something nice and warm. And then my favorite restaurant in town, if you want some lunch later in town, is down the street to the right. We have this big 3-story building right there called Skagway Brewing Company. They brew their own beer. They do like 11 different beers. They grow their own food on the 3rd story in an indoor hydroponics area, and it's really fresh. And they catch fresh local seafood too, so that's my favorite restaurant. And then this red building on the right is our local kind of musical here. So this musical has been going for like 100-something years. And it's really cool. They do it a few times a day. You can just walk in there and buy tickets, but they tell the story of the good guy and the bad guy of Skagway, and they do a really good job. Studio apartment, it can be a converted house, or like apartments above the buildings and businesses downtown, or if they're not provided housing, they usually bring up a camper or RV. So you'll see tons and tons of campers all over the place, in yards and little RV parks here and there. Yeah, that's kind of what they do. So, fun fact about Skagway, we actually do not have a hospital here. So what do we do for medical care? We do have a little clinic. So my boyfriend works here at the clinic, so hi Nicholas. And we have traveling nurses, traveling nurse practitioners, and traveling physician's assistants that come here and give us medical care. So here's our clinic on the right. That's my boyfriend's Jeep. And I know, part of the tour. He started parking it here like a week ago, and so I just mentioned it. Skagway River. We'll see beautiful views on both sides. If you look, that means we get a ton of rain, but it is cooler down there. It's not warm. Up here, though, we have changed the landscape, and now it is subarctic tundra. So that means it's very cold year-round. We have snow almost year-round, and very little grows up here. And bear or something will cross down the pass and go towards Skagway, but that's pretty rare. This is what it looks like up here for 10 months out of the year. In the winter time, though, this is all complete. Bring snowplows up in May and clear part of the road. But the Department of Transportation watches the road, and they'll send up this big drone and close the road and then drop a bomb on the top of the potential avalanche to make the avalanche purposely fall, and so that no one's on the road, and then they can clear it and then open the road. They do that every once in a while. They used to use helicopters. Here's the avalanche I was telling you all about. Happened, what, 2 days ago, right here? So, here's the summit. The elevation is 3,200.
like the car guys who said, if your warning light comes on, just put electrical tape over it. Yeah. If your car's making noise, turn up the radio. Yeah.
And now they found that the liquors were bad.
Fuel line. Yeah. The fuel rail.
Yeah. So I want to put
put 3-in-1 oil into the ice.
I got it. Yeah. I want to put
Prohibited at all times on board the train, including the lavatories and exterior platforms. Now, with safety announcements out of the way, let me officially welcome you aboard the famous White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad, constructed 125 years ago. Today, we will be traveling over 20 miles of narrow gauge track and climbing. We will, however, be seeing our conductor John Isaac Randolph, who is in charge of our train. And assisting him today is brakeman Eileen O'Keefe and brakeman in training Kristen Moore. On your seats, you should have already found a complimentary copy of our Glacier Bridge, which we crossed about a mile back. impossible to complete, their quest had only just begun. 20 more miles would take them to Lake Bennett. From there, they could build a raft loaded with their goods and set out on a journey to navigate 550 miles of interconnected lakes and rivers before finally arriving in Dawson City and the Klondike gold fields.
We're in Canada.
At this point, you all have met our roadie guides, Dawn and Max. The next time you see them, they will not be empty-handed. They will have some special souvenirs available for purchase. The first item is our exclusive White Pass and Yukon Route baseball-style hat for $15. This hat is special because it is only sold on board the train and nowhere else. Not even our own gift shop in town. It comes in black and features the 125th anniversary White Pass logo on the front, the phrase Gateway to the Yukon on the back, and embroidered on the bill is the golden spike that marks the
Imagine if you're trying to drive and then a train just stopped in the middle of the road. Go to the store.
I have a question though. Have you gone to the store?
Okay, so that.
What?
Are you out the train?
Sure.